Hello, everybody. We're on record. I want to thank you for coming to the January 2025 Equal Opportunity Review Commission. The meeting will be chaired by Dr. Hall. Upasana, can you do the roll call, please?
Yeah, thanks, Chuck. Good morning, commissioners. Thank you all for joining. If you can please say yes or present. Commissioner Conley, Commissioner Dr. Hall,
Present.
Commissioner McCants-Lewis,
Present.
Commissioner Dr. Sweet-Cushman,
Present.
Commissioner Siegel, Commissioner Miss Barnett, Commissioner Williams,
Present.
Present. I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Commissioner Balthrop, Commissioner Usro, Commissioner Porter,
Present.
Commissioner Gibbs.
Present.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Dr. Hall, can I ask that you get the committee to approve December minutes, please?
For commissioners, if I can get a motion to approve last month's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Chuck.
Dr. Hall, can you ask for public comment, please?
Sure, we have any public comments from anyone? This is the time for those. Okay, hearing none, like to move forward in our first plan. Okay, so
Go ahead, Dr. Hall.
yes, our first plan is the Cowley Recreation Center. Do we have someone on the line representing the contract? Okay, hearing none. I'm gonna move.
I wonder how Josh was supposed to be on. So I'll take it.
Okay,
This contract is for the rec center. It has 32% WBE with 2 subs with the prices there, and it has a veterans on it. This is a good project. Back to you, Dr. Hall.
commissioners, any comments or questions for Chuck? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve Takeda Barnett.
Second, please.
Second. Commissioner McCants-Lewis.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Opposed? Seeing none. Contract passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll move on to number 2, Commissioner. Dr. Hall.
Okay, we see that it's the Kennard Field Park contract.
Yep.
Primus Cosmos Technologies. Do we have a representative on the line?
Yes, thank you. I'm Barry Davidson with Cosmos Technologies.
Thanks for joining us, Barry. I just want to open this up now to the commissioners if they have any questions or comments or concerns. Yeah, we see the MBE and WBE, very good percentage. And again, we have another veterans on this contract. Hearing no questions or concerns or comments from the commissioners, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
We get a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Thank you. Contract approved. Barry, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move to number 3, Dr. Hall.
Okay, contract the Fraser Street Steps. Prime is in the independent enterprises. We do see the numbers there. Again, I'm going to open it up to the commissioners for any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this contract. And who do we have on the line, if anyone, for this contract?
This is Jonathan Hoffman.
Welcome, Jonathan. I'm just opening it up to the commissioners in case they have any questions, concerns regarding your contract. Commissioners?
If I can make a quick comment, This is one of the first in quite some time, guys, that we have a veteran as our prime contractor.
Very good.
Yeah, nice. Well, I hear silence, so commissioners, I'm not hearing any questions or seeing any hands. Can we get a motion to approve, please?
I make a motion to approve this plan.
Thank you. Can we get someone to second?
Second.
Thank you. Can we, if you're all in favor, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Plan passes. Jonathan, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on to number 4, Dr. Hall.
Sure, the Community Neighborhood Stewardship, our prime is the Center for Employment Opportunities. We see that there's a veteran-owned business. Commissioners, opening this up for any questions, comments, or concerns. And who do we have on the line?
Good morning, commissioners, and everyone. This is Charles Showers. I'm the manager of personnel and finance for the Department of Public Safety. I'm here with Assistant Director David Jones, who's sort of our subject matter expert for the project. And we're here with Sam Hanna and Camila Rodriguez, who represent Center for Employment Opportunities.
And welcome to you all. It is now on the floor for the commissioners. Should they have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this contract?
Commissioner Hall, if I may speak, I just had a question about, what type of work will be done. It looks like it's cleaning, litter cleanup efforts, advocating for property revitalization, removing things from empty lots. Is that correct? Is that the scope of the work that will be done?
Yes, ma'am.
And with regard for the prime, what type of advertisement was done for this particular project? Were there any organizations or companies within the Pittsburgh area that were identified?
It was RFP. I mean, we put the RFP out, ma'am. That's what our usual process is.
Sam, Camila, do you have?
RFP process, were there any identified organizations or companies within the Pittsburgh region or in Pennsylvania?
Sam or Camila, I'll defer to you on that one.
For our subcontractors, so the National Rubber Footwear, is that what you're referring to? Or other contractors that were bidding on the work?
Were there any in the Pittsburgh region or in Pennsylvania that bid on the work? Before going out to Maryland?
Oh, so Center for Employment Opportunities is a Pittsburgh-based nonprofit. So we have operations out of Pittsburgh and serve Pittsburghians.
I think so. My question is specifically with regard to the RFP. Did you get any responses from any Pittsburgh-based organizations, companies, or any in Pennsylvania?
Oh, my apologies.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought you were referring specifically to CEO. No, the RFP process, yes. CEO is local. We received several other responses. I'm pulling those up right now. I believe at least one other one was local. Let me give me just a moment here to pull those up. I do apologize for the delay. Let's see. I believe we have we had 5 responses. I believe, looking at this very quickly, I believe at least 4 of them were local to Pittsburgh or at least Allegheny County.
And were they?
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner. Excuse me.
Go ahead, Dr. Hall. Thank you.
No, I was just going to ask, were they certified? MB or WBE?
I do not believe so. I'm double checking on that now.
Okay, so while you're double checking, Commissioner Williams,
Thank you. I guess it says I have to play a chime to raise my hand. I didn't see the raise hand gesture. Thank you. I'm going to recuse myself from this vote or abstain. I wrote a letter of support for Center for Employment Opportunities because they actually served our community. They did a project for us. And I was confused about who they were, but I happened to be somewhere networking, sitting next to somebody, and next thing you know, I learned about Center for Employment Opportunities. And so what they literally do is take people who are reentry, right? It's basically a reentrant program, and they put them to work outside. So we have a greenway here on the north side in Perry South, the Perry South Greenway. They went over, they did some work, they did some cleanup work, they picked up trash, they cut the brushes back so people could walk on the path. So I spoke to, the man who was on site. There were mostly African Americans that work for them that are employed by Center for Employment Opportunities with this reentry program. And so, however, to Commissioner Lewis's comment, a lot of the people were just recently released from like Cincinnati institutions in Harrisburg and locally like that, but they were now stationed here in Pittsburgh through this program. I think somebody from Center for Employment Opportunities might want to speak to that. Even though it's a national organization, they do have a local chapter here in Pittsburgh.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. That's correct. So CEO is a national reentry nonprofit. So we provide job training and placement to folks who are returning home from prison. We have over 30 office locations. So although we are national, we also have an office that's based out of Pittsburgh. So we do serve the local community. Happy to answer any other questions. Most of the on-the-job training that we provide to our participants is with regards to government contracts such as these, mostly litter abatement. So we help folks for about a 3 to 4 month period sort of get on the job training. And then we also provide supportive services to make sure that they're able to obtain full-time employment after their time with CEO.
Commissioner McCants.
I'm looking at this and it says professional services, which is pretty broad. And then as I'm reading and what I've read, it talks about the workforce development part of that. So National Rubber Footwear, are they providing equipment?
That's correct.
Is this all inclusive of the actual training program? I think what you're doing is great. I do a lot of work in workforce development myself, but the amount of $2,400 seems to me that's like, for equipment versus the actual training.
That's correct. So all of our program participants are guaranteed an immediate job upon joining our program. And as part of that job, we provide them with PPE to complete that work. Part of that PPE is steel-toed rubber boots that we source from National Rubber Footwear.
Thank you. That was the clarification that I needed. I wasn't sure what National Rubber Footwear was doing, if they were a company, doing work here. So they are providing the footwear needed for the work that's being done in the overview of the project. With that clarification, I'd like to make a motion to approve this project.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
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 Thank you, Commissioners. Plan passes.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you very much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Hall, we'll move to number 5.
In the West Pittsburgh Reach Neighborhood Mobility Plan, the Tool Design Group, who do we have on the line representing?
Hi, my name's Kevin Brown. I'm a principal planner with the Department of Mobility and Infrastructure, and I believe we also have Kristen Saunders from the Prime on this one, Tool Design, with us.
Okay, thanks for joining us, commissioners. Turn it over to the commissioners. Any questions, thoughts, comments? I'm hearing none. So if we can get a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the plan as presented.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
I'll second.
That's Commissioner Barnett. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any objections? Thank you. Motion approves.
Thank you, Commissioners.
We'll move on. That's all the city contracts. We're moving to Housing Authority now. And number 6, Dr. Hall.
Okay, the emergency plumbing services, First American Industries. And we have someone on the line, Brandon.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Brandon Havranek, Associate Director of Procurement, Contracting Officer for the Housing Authority, the City of Pittsburgh. If I may as well, I know you guys have worked with Vanilla over the last few years, and she moved up and on to better opportunities, and we have been able to backfill that position with somebody I believe most of you are familiar with, Mr. Rick Williams. He has joined the Housing Authority as the MBE WBE specialist, and this is his first meeting on our behalf with you all. So, Rick, if you want to say hello, but we also have the Prime on the call, as well as I think Jim the Prime is on the call, and I was trying to see if any of the subs are on here, but I didn't see any of the names.
Okay, thank you for that, Rick. Welcome back to us. Different capacity.
Yeah, it's a different capacity. Really trying to understand the Housing Authority and their MWBE program here. Being on this side, I'm starting to really understand how the authority really runs their program here, and it's a pretty robust program and how they connect MWBEs, but also other things that they do with the authority. That's pretty interesting and great that we may talk about a little later. I'm still getting my feet wet. This is my second week on the job here, so just bear with me. You'll probably see a lot of me moving forward in the future, and looking forward to working with you guys again.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to open it up to the commissioners. If anyone has any questions, thoughts, or complaints, concerns. This actually looks pretty good.
Looks good to me.
Okay, hearing no questions, comments, or concerns, can we get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Can we get a second?
Second.
Thank you, commissioners. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Any objections? Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion approves. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to the next one, number 7, Commissioner, Dr. Hall.
Security camera maintenance, the Prime, the authority-wide. Is who do we have on this call?
It's still Brandon. I'm still here. I have the Prime on.
Okay.
So this is security camera installation and maintenance for all the authority properties. This one was tough because the part of the RFP process was the platform and the information and the cameras themselves that could integrate to the police. And the platform and camera system we chose was Verkada cameras. And that is proprietary, and you have to be a licensed dealer for not only to sell Verkada cameras, but also to service them. So it's a large dollar contract at almost $3.5 million, but over half of that is going to be costs in just purchasing cameras. We did not find any certified MBEs or WBEs within the region that could sell the cameras and service them. Zycom Technology Group was determined to be the highest scoring, most responsive and responsible offerer to the RFP. Initially, they had no participation because there was very limited opportunity. However, they had continued to work with Rick and I since the closing of the RFP to try to carve out some semblance of an opportunity, and they were able to work with a company called Mindburn. They are an MBE, but they are not local to Pittsburgh, but they will try to bundle work for them to come in and lay some cabling for the cameras. So that was the best opportunity we could pull out for subcontract work for this.
Yeah, numbers look tough. Commissioners? So is Mindburn certified?
Yes.
And you said you work with Chuck on this particular contract to locate some other MBs, WBs, and nothing came up?
Yes, yes, Brandon and I
Correct.
worked on this, and it's just the certifications and the specifics to this, it was pretty hard to carve out anything.
Yeah, like Brandon said, it's a proprietary software, and basically we need to utilize that for warranty purposes for the authority, far as the maintenance and everything else. So that we would have to have a vendor that's already certified under the Verkada software.
And
Is this a new prime? Is this a new prime, or you all worked with them before?
They have done some work so we have them under an emergency contract currently while we ran this RFP to service the cameras. The previous company had filed bankruptcy, and the contract was terminated, which left us with nobody to monitor service the cameras. So we did sign a emergency contract with them just a few months ago while this RFP was out. So we had to follow the proper procurement procedures. Another thing about Verkada cameras, it's one of the few cameras that are manufactured outside of some of the blacklisted countries like China. So they're not broadcasting our data. So that is compliant with some of the Homeland Security guidelines about cameras, I believe. Dan, you want to nod if that's correct? So it kind of limits, it's not, you can't just use any camera. It has to be approved, source approved. And Verkada is going to provide us integration to our current and old systems, and as well as provide that to the city police. So, and you have to be licensed by Verkada to sell it and to service it.
I have a question about the security camera maintenance. Is this just for maintenance, or are they also monitoring this? Is this something that if something happens, you can go back and play the camera back to see any information, or is there some type of a dispatch where these cameras are watched? I'm thinking maybe like Guardian or something like that. Is there alarms go off? Is it you said police, but
This is just
monitoring these cameras.
This is just for the purchase and maintenance and installation of the cameras. The monitoring is done by our public safety department and the city of Pittsburgh police.
Okay.
Any other questions, commissioners?
I have a question. Is there any possibility, I'm looking at the note from the office of MBE. So is there any possibility that you can increase the percentage of MBE or WBE or BSOB at all? Is there the possibility that can happen?
I'm sure, Zycom has been a great partner in trying to find participation. If you look in the packet, they've reached out to dozens and dozens of firms and trying to carve out. We always continue to evolve and try to increase where we can. But, at this point, the limited ability of finding the fact that no certified firms exist that provide service as licensed by Verkada, it kind of limits the ability to find. So what we were able to do is find this company out of Ohio to come in, and they're going to group work orders for them to run cabling. So it's kind of it's a stretch because now they have to wait until we can group some orders to make it worth their while to come from Ohio. But it was really the best we could do
So
to
in
have
that
something.
case, so in that case, the certification is irrelevant. If they're just, I'm not just bundling wires, I wouldn't be able to group or bundle wires. But if they don't, this sub doesn't require certification in this case, correct? The scope that the sub will be doing, does it require certification?
From Verkada?
Yeah, they're a Verkada certified organization. Not business, I should say. And because of that, they were selected to be able to do this project.
Mindburn.
Mindburn.
Okay.
And they are certified through Eastern Minority Supply Diversity Council. And I think we sent that over, Brandon, to Chuck, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, it's in
I don't
the
know.
packet.
I don't know if they, yes, they are, yes,
Yeah, they're
yes,
certified.
sorry.
It's in the packet.
Ian,
MSDC, Eastern Minority Supplier Diversity Council.
Yes, I know I sent our certification over because we are 100% minority owned. So our two partners are both minority. We are 100% owned. When it comes to the certification for Verkada, we are certified and we're in the process of getting that updated for 2025. So that way we'll be able to support Zycom and everything they need. And being based in Harrisburg, we have a team that's on the western side of the city that getting to Pittsburgh is no problem for us. We're out there doing wiring jobs for warehouses that are being built probably once a month. So the travel is not an issue for us.
okay, so not hearing anything else, I just want to summarize. So there's no other scope of work that you can carve out, is what I'm hearing. Is that correct? Brandon?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand or say aye.
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 Thank you, commissioners. Plan passes. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
move to our last plan of the day. This was
Thank
the
you, guys.
one, this was the one that was retabled last month and it's back before us this month. Dr. Hall?
Sure, it's the moving services. So please share with us how this is different from last month. Where's our?
Yes, we received clarification from the Pennsylvania Utility Commission. There is no MBE or WB within the region that is a PUC certified mover of household goods. There do exist some that can move office equipment and office furniture. However, we are moving residents of the housing authority, and therefore their things are household goods, and there is no MBE or WB certified within the region. Furthermore, we got clarification that a PUC certified mover is not allowed to subcontract out their moves unless they are licensed as a broker, which is a different certification than if you are a mover, and not it is not within the business interest of a moving company to be listed as a broker.
Thank you, Brandon. Commissioners?
I just want to say it's abominable that there aren't any certified MBEs that are able to move household goods in Western Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that. This plan still disturbs me. There's no opportunities is what we're coming up with. I totally understand your clarification, Brandon, so definitely appreciate that. But we're in the business of equity and trying to get people work and employed. So
well, from that, if it eases your conscience, Don Farr has committed to hiring upwards of 50 low-income individuals that are residents of the housing authority. They have created their own portal for applicants, just housing authority applicants. And I believe they have already scheduled at least 2 interviews for that process.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner McCants-Lewis?
Thank you, Commissioner Hall. I echo the sentiments of Commissioner Williams and both Commissioner Dr. Hall with regard to disappointment with the lack of certified MBE, WBEs that are in this field. But this is what this commission is meant to do, but also our primes that come forward, they have a responsibility to mentor, to encourage, or to help businesses then to get this certification. So Brandon, I do thank you for going back and getting that information for us to see, if this could even be done through the PUC. But I just wanted it on the record that, we are to, our primes and people that get these contracts are to encourage and help to develop minority and women-owned businesses, veteran, LGBTQ plus businesses to then get those certifications so that they one day can also become primes and certified in these particular areas.
Well said, Commissioner. Thank you for that. Hearing no other questions, concerns, or comments, commissioners, can we get a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Objections? Abstentions?
Thank you, folks. We'll see you next month.
Motion approves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Hall. We do not have any ITQ contracts to report on. The next thing is, are there any comments from the commissioners for our office before I get into our comments?
I'd just like to thank everyone for today's participation and engagement. And Chuck, thanks for the preparation.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. Any other commissioners? Okay, I'll get to our Office of Business Diversity. Starting next month, we are going to have contract alerts for you guys. And those alerts will be for prime contractors who are not fulfilling their goals to pay these subcontractors. Okay, I'm going to start from 24 backwards instead of coming the other way. So there'll be a list of contracts that we can look at next month that you guys can approve the alerts on. So we'll have a record of them. And our next ERC meeting is February 20th. I will send out the information and everything for that, and you guys can let me know your availability.
Okay.
I have a question about the alert. If we were to find out that somebody was not paying a subcontractor, could we interrupt that? Would that have an impact on maintaining the contract?
Yeah, so as of right now, we can't enforce any of those sanctions that are in city code because we don't have an updated disparity study. And that's why we're launching one now, so we can enforce those sanctions. But there is some language in our contracts here at the city to where if there is we find that a prime contractor is not paying out their subs, that we can enforce some regulations into that. Being that this is the first time we'll be doing it, we just don't want to just put the hammer down on folks without actually rolling out, doing some education and all of that. But we are going to send a notice, let them know, have the conversation like, hey, you need to pay yourselves, get your contract in order, and then going forward, use our contracting regulations, and then going forward, using our sanctions once we have a completed disparity study with recommendations. I'm sorry. I'm Darius Wallace, Strategic Projects Administrator in the Office of Mary Gainey.
Thank you.
And any more questions for our office or Darius?
I have a question, but I'd like to, is there such thing as an executive session with these meetings? I'd like to ask it with just the commissioners and the Office of Diversity.
Yes, we have briefings on the meetings. We have a 10 o'clock standard that you can, if you want a briefing on the meetings, Commissioner Williams, we have a 10 o'clock standard Thursday before the meeting. And I always brief 2 or 3 commissioners on the projects the days before. And normally I brief the commission chair and Dr. Hall.
Okay. I do want to say we can't convene the whole commission. We can only do 3 at a time. If we convene the whole commission for a meeting, then it has to be a public meeting.
Understood.
So we can only do those meetings at 2 or 3 at a time. So, but more than happy to set up a meeting, but we can't do the whole commission all at once.
Thanks.
Chuck, anything else?
That's it for the meeting today, Dr. Hall. Will you ask for the adjournment, please?
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, raise your hand, say aye.
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 Commissioners, thank you again for your time, and Chuck, thanks for, again, you and Pazza and the whole ERC team. Thanks.